This Good Morning Northwest morning sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, 6:53 on the dot. Let's get you ready to tackle your Friday and the weekend here in the morning sprint. Allison Martinez has your forecast to help you take on the weekend. Donald Trump's Georgia indictment marks his 4th this year and the first to require his mugshot photos. Sydney Charles has those details. And our fire watch coverage continues in Medical Lake this morning, where the Great Fire has burned over 10,000 acres. Let's get to Marissa Rio live with the latest details from DNR officials.
The Great Fire is now 68% contained. We are now in the fire zone. If you take a look, there's a lot of fallen trees. Fire crews have been working overnight to put out hot spots. These firefighters have found buried wood that has fire, so they are exposing it so the flame can burn out and then cool down. Fire officials ask that the public remembers that this is still an active fire. Do not come in unless you absolutely have to. Reporting in Medical Lake, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
And this is the latest evacuation map for the Oregon Road fire near Elk, which is now 16% contained. Everyone in the yellow area needs to get ready to leave. Everyone in the green area needs to stay aware. The Oregon Road fire has burned over 11,000 acres. They now have over 1,000 personnel working to fight that fire. We also learned this morning that over 1,000 people are now working to control those flames. 80 structures have been lost in this fire, and some families have returned to see their homes completely destroyed. Now, for anyone impacted by the Gray or Oregon Road fires, a disaster assistance center is opening today to help people find the services they need. It opens at Spokane Falls Community College at noon. And as those two major fires continue to burn in Spokane County, you'll hear us and official sources share progress in terms of containment. On KXLY.com/firewatch, we break down what that term containment actually means.
And we're tracking details out of Georgia this morning. Donald Trump, now the first current or former U.S. president with a mugshot. Take a look at your screen here. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office releasing this photo of the former president following Trump's surrender at the county jail on charges that he conspired with others to reverse his 2020 Georgia election defeat. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis is requesting an October 23rd trial start date for all 19 co-defendants. What happens next is coming up on Good Morning America.
The school board for the West Bonner School District in Priest River says it's committed to fixing critical errors that put the district at risk, including getting its new superintendent certified. The Idaho Board of Education says Superintendent Brandon Durst is not qualified to hold this position, and the district is risking breaking state law by keeping him on. The school board says Durst will get emergency certification. Prior to being chosen as superintendent, Durst was an analyst for the right-wing Idaho Freedom Foundation and a former state lawmaker. Well, you hear it here first on 4 News Now. For the second time in less than a month, Bryan Kohberger's attorneys have asked a judge to throw out his indictment. Kohberger was in court earlier this week, waiving his right to a speedy trial. That means he won't go on trial in October as scheduled. Shortly after, his attorneys filed that motion to dismiss. The document that lists the 24 reasons they think it should be dismissed is sealed, but we know the defense cites the following general reasons: a biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, a lack of sufficient evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct by withholding evidence. The judge is set to hear on the defense team's first motion to dismiss in early September. No hearing on the new motion has been set. Two teenagers in Whitman County, just 13 and 14 years old, have been charged with setting a small but critical bridge on fire. It happened last Saturday just east of Pullman on Highway 270. Investigators say witnesses pointed to two teens being in the area at the time of the fire, both of whom are suspected of stealing from a grocery store in Pullman, as well as stealing a bike before the fire started.
We have some great news for firefighters coming from the weather desk. We could have some chances of moisture coming our way today. Now, as we make our way throughout the morning, we're starting off pretty dry, but as we approach the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock afternoon hour, we could be seeing some moisture scattered throughout the region. We're looking at a 40% chance in Spokane. Now, this rain is going to be pretty light rain that will clear out as we near the evening.
Coming up next on Good Morning America, what you need to know about the new COVID variant and when updated booster shots will be available. And a new road construction project will begin affecting traffic on the Maple Street Bridge Sunday. Take a look at this map. The first phase of that $4.7 million project will take about 2 weeks and will resurface the northbound lanes of the bridge. During the project, northbound lanes will close at 8 p.m. and reopen at 6 a.m. Drivers can take the Monroe Street Bridge to avoid that construction. The first phase will last until September 9th. Back with the final check of the weather next.